What's going on, everyone? My name is Saber, and do you guys remember that article we took a look at? T-Rex causes toxic masculinity or something like that? Well, if you remember, that was a video of just me looking at a Twitter thread. This time, there's an actual video for me to react to. So, without further ado, flame that shit!
This video is directly based on an article written by paleontologist Riley Black for Slate. Some words may be familiar, but I've tried to stick to my own words. Thanks.
Dude, what even is that intro? You got T-Rex's fucking, like, not even a minute in, and we already have some fucking going on. Like, I'm actually surprised he's able to show this early into the video without getting suspended or some shit, but whatever, let's go on.
As much as I hate to admit it, specific dinosaur species or genera are not immune to popularity contests. I don't even think I need to bring up examples, but clearly some dinosaur archetypes are held up as the main ones over the thousands of known species.
Yeah, people have always had favorite dinosaurs. I don't. What's the point of adding that? This next part is just 30 seconds of rambling, so I'm gonna skip to the part where he actually talks about the fucking T-Rex.
Some of these are popular because they were the first dinosaurs people ever saw, the linchpin for their introduction to worlds of the past. Others, though, got their stint of popularity due to Hollywood magic, like the previously sort of obscure Dilophosaurus. Others rocketed to stardom, or relative stardom, due to how damn cool their name was, like the thunder lizard Brontosaurus. One of these dinosaurs stands upon an astonishingly white marble pillar above the rest, the Tyrant Lizard King. The damn thing's goofy head plasters a majority of children's books, and its name is scrawled upon entirely too many scientific papers.
For the damn thing's goofy head. Why does this guy hate the T-Rex so much? God fucking damn.
It's easily one of, if not the most studied extinct lifeform on the planet. The immense popularity of Tyrannosaurus rex cropped up pretty much immediately after being discovered, described, and named.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the part that matters. I don't really care about the T-Rex's life history, what his cat's name was, blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck. This isn't the right opinion. This is a video about why T-Rex is bad.
But it was also its enduring appeal as an emblem of masculinity that rocketed its good looks to the top of the charts, even beyond other equally dangerous or awesome predators. Yes, I brought up a buzzword. Keep paying attention, and you may learn something.
Holy shit, dude. This guy's fucking attitude. Keep paying attention and you might learn something, you fucking dumbass. You do see this a lot with dinosaur YouTubers. Yeah, that's a thing, by the way. Where they have this holier-than-thou, self-important attitude about how everything, really.
As Riley Black, paleontologist, professional dinosaur enthusiast, science writer, and author, put it in her 2022 Slate article on the exhaustion of T-Rex pop culture. I am frankly tired of talking about T-Rex.
I am frankly tired of talking about T-Rex. Well, then why the fuck are you making this video? Also, professional dinosaur enthusiast, what kind of a bullshit career is that? Like, if I could get paid for liking things, I could be a professional anime titty liker or something like that. Or a snake girl enthusiast.
Our obsession with T-Rex comes not just at the expense of giving airtime to other dinosaurs, it obscures our understanding of T-Rex itself. I agree to some degree with Riley. I get a bit annoyed about talking about T-Rex from time to time, but it is pretty damn cool. New things are found out about it all the time. But is the continued comprehensive study specifically of Tyrannosaurus obscuring the study of other dinosaurs, other reptiles, or other fossil animals? Maybe it even obscures the understanding of the tyrant animal itself?
That was pure and utter nonsense. Why the fuck did you include that in your video? You could have taken it out. Why did you do that?
Tyrannosaurus rex was first named by the racist eugenicist and all-around douche canoe Henry Fairfield Osborn of the American Museum of Natural History in 1905.
Some of you might not know this, but you can't just call people racist without showing why they're racist, especially if it's in a video like this. Unlike Edge here, I'm gonna actually show you why he was actually a racist, but just throwing that out there that you should at least show what you're talking about. But Edge here, he doesn't think that you're smart enough to do your own research. He thinks that he can just tell you shit and that you'll believe it because you're fucking stupid. You're not. You're sexy and I love you. By the way, I'm going to be skipping a lot of this video. Like, so far we're like 8 minutes in and he hasn't said a word about the actual topic of the video.
The fact that the animal is considered by most scientists, laymen, and the public alike as the largest, last, and most powerful non-avian dinosaur ever has attracted a huge number of people, including a certain demographic. As Riley continues in her article, Tyrannosaurus rex has primarily attracted attention from white, cisgender men. They are the ones that sell Tyrannosaurs to all of us, whether academically backed or self-styled. Even the non-binary multimedia-wielding persona given to the ungenderable Sue has what Riley Black calls a masculine gloss.
Sue was a female T-Rex. There's a documentary about it.
Directly a result of pop culture's depictions of the animal as a fearsome creature that can and will eat anything it wants. The fact that it is primarily men who are the ones interpreting Tyrannosaurus science doesn't help that either. Therefore, Tyrannosaurus rex, the tyrant lizard king, is a symbol of toxic masculinity. This animal has been taken up by non-scientific sources by over 100 years of patriarchal interpretation as the epitome of killing, bone-crushing, roaring, and raw power. Any other interpretation of the beast tends to go under the radar. Discovering, naming, buying, selling the T-Rex is about displaying power, to exert control over the dinosaur and subsequently over nature.
Yeah, it's almost like that's why it's such a fucking cool animal.
It's also a theme that has been briefly explored in the very franchise that perpetuated the ferocious persona of the real-world animal. The funding gathered by the persona of the Rex has had to trickle down to other theropod dinosaurs, and eventually to the unsung, more important heroes of the fossil record. Other dinosaurs could do with the popularity contest of the Rex. If we, as a group of enthusiasts, scientists, or consumers, were to remove the persona of the Rex and look at it for what it is, and was, an impressive animal, then perhaps our attention could be better served in understanding the entire history of life on Earth rather than just a single species.
Basically, this guy's trying to make a point about a non-issue that we're studying T-Rex too much and that we should study other animals even though that's not the case, like, at all.
Large dinosaurs from the southern hemisphere, South America, Africa, and Asia were as impressive and sometimes more than the Rex. Maybe we should analyze other dinosaurs as much as we do the Tyrannosaurus. Build up the library of life habits for other organisms that don't have such a strongly masculine persona artificially tacked onto them. Maybe we should take a break from the arbitrary arguments and debates about the biology of a single animal when they more often than not reflect men's aesthetic preferences. I think it is unsurprising that a lot of the arguments about whether or not Tyrannosaurus was feathered boil down to largely white cis men finding feathers unattractive or feminine.
For any women watching, is it a masculine thing to think that feathered dinosaurs are ugly as shit? Like, look at this thing. If this was alive today, I would shoot it, alright? If dinosaurs really did look like that, then I'm fucking glad they're extinct.
Nuance tends only to enter the conversation among folks that are in the know. Thus, those of us who autistically hyperfocus on the specifics of dinosaur reconstructions. And I mean that in the least derogatory of ways. I mean, most of us STEM folks are on some part of the spectrum anyway.
One thing that really gets to me is because I'm autistic and people around me try to be non-offensive or say the politically correct term for shit. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm a human. I can take it. I have thick skin. I'm offended that you think I'm that fucking weak.
It is reflective of the toxically masculine problem surrounding the persona and idolization of the Rex that the majority of people that start arguments in person or online are white cis men. Obviously, this discussion has been mostly based on anecdotal observations, but the greater paleontological and scientific community provides proof of the echo chambers created by keeping non-cis white men out of the field. Obviously, there are no laws or literal restrictions, as they are mostly social and societal. The majority of people in STEM are verifiably men, white, and/or cisgendered. By bringing these topics up, the overrepresentation of cis white males in STEM and the toxically masculine persona of the Rex have no doubt triggered at least some of you. Neither Riley Black nor I are saying that the animal itself is toxically masculine, nor is it wrong to like it. That seems to be a thing a lot of folks are incapable of understanding when reading Riley's article, though I suspect it has everything to do with reading the title and nothing else.
So, because I thought it was funny, I went ahead and said, "What the fuck, I love T-Rex now," in the comment section of that video. And then Ed replies with this fucking college textbook paragraph that says basically the exact opposite of what he just now said. "If you get offended, that's on you, not me. I never insulted you nor men in general, simply referring to a very specific group of people because I thought it was interesting. Toxic masculinity and masculinity are two separate, well-documented topics. If you don't think toxic masculinity exists, that's not only on you, but it shows how unscientific you must be. Why even watch a science channel? Because this is a documented thing that occurs, and I was simply referring to a specific kind that occurs in some circles in paleontology." You know what? Just because it's funny, I want everyone to go to his video and say that you love T-Rex, even if it's not your favorite dinosaur. It's not my favorite dinosaur, but clearly this makes him upset, so I don't normally condone harassment, but this is just comment spam, alright? That's it. And hopefully all the comments will drive up engagement and bring his video further into the public eye, into the spotlight if you will, and maybe other YouTubers will make fun of this guy, who knows.
To bring in some examples of toxic masculinity surrounding Tyrannosaurus, here are some quotes, screenshots, and stories from Dr. Wynne McLaughlin, a visiting assistant professor at Pomona College and expert in Cenozoic communities. In response to Riley's article, Dr. McLaughlin said, 100% relate. Those getting in a tizzy over this clearly have never experienced what it's like saying T-Rex in front of many of the dino fans as a woman. I've also had someone assault one of my female presenting students in front of me for asking a question politely about nano not being a valid genus. This article exactly encapsulates why so many of us actively avoid charismatic big theropods. Literally, it's for safety.
It seems like there's a lot of missing context from this one, but basically if you or your friends are being assaulted by anyone, why don't you pepper spray his ass or something? Don't just watch it and be afraid to talk about T-Rex.
Hillary McLean, fossil lab manager at the Perot Museum, said, "I will just point out to all of the men in the comments saying it's silly to pin toxic masculinity to T-Rex that I have never had as many issues from fanboys ignoring my knowledge and experience, dismissing me out of hand, or just plain ignoring what I have to say when commenting on any sort of post about Rex. As a woman paleontologist, I am always incredibly anxious communicating about Rex or disagreeing with a male commenter because typically it gets super dismissive or nasty super fast. I do not have this issue with any other interaction on another dinosaur. You may not see it, but it is time to really examine our obsessions with Rex and ask why we place it on such a pedestal."
Because T-Rex is fucking cool, and I'm starting to think that, somehow a conversation about a dinosaur is getting nasty or leading to assault. I'm starting to think that you're just intentionally pushing people's buttons.
Daniel Dvorkin brought up a great point. I think there is absolutely toxic masculinity in the way T-Rex is held up as an icon of dinosaurian toughness. Look at the, shall we say, historical reactions to the influffening in the mid-2010s, and the absolute glee with which large portions of the dinosaur fandom greeted Bell et al. 2017. That reaction wasn't about paleontological accuracy, and it still isn't. Hell, there's still an army of fanboys who pounce on any post about any feathered tyrannosaur, including the likes of Eutyrannus, about which there's no reasonable doubt. They really, really want their big scaly dragon. They identify with it, and Dino Fuzz is just too girly. None of this is to criticize people choosing it as their favorite dinosaur. Everyone gets to like whatever they like, but it's worth looking at our own reasons for liking things every once in a while. AK Rex. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was, but anyway, I will die on this hill. Feathered dinosaurs look fucking ugly. I know that they did have feathers, but that doesn't mean that it looks good.
And lastly, Dominic D'Amore stated, "I'll never understand the whole dino fandom. Dinosaurs are a scientific phenomenon, not an artist property. They exist beyond the human condition. Arguing violently about your favorite dinosaur is like arguing about your favorite color."
Well, if we're gonna be like that, then why should we have a favorite anything? Why should we have a favorite type of bug, or a favorite animal, or favorite guns, or favorite colors, or favorite dinosaurs?
British tabloid The Sun recently complained that a new BBC Nature documentary is proposing a woke, gentler, and politically correct T-Rex. In the case of The Sun, you could say this would be a cold, capitalistic, and cynical ploy for clicks. I don't think the author cares much for the subject on which they were writing. The article suggesting that not making every single recreation of Tyrannosaurus the king of the monsters is some sort of attack on traditional values definitely plays right into the destructive mindset of the toxic masculinity of stubborn armchair naturalists and know-it-alls.
Yeah, the know-it-alls aren't the ones that make the kind of video that you're making. Right, I see what you mean.
You will easily find guys commenting on science news, paleoart, and the like that the struggle to represent these animals as animals is gay, humiliating, and destroying their childhood. Some even fall into the conspiracy box that recreating dinosaurs with the feathers they may have or definitely had is an LGBTQ+ conspiracy. Yeah.
Dude, Facebook thinks everything's a conspiracy, alright? Like, do I even need to bring up the reasoning for why this is useless information?
It feels sick to my stomach knowing dinos might have had feathers. What a disgusting revelation. Thanks, Forehead to Brick. Very cool. Feather dinos suck. Very enlightening. Can I be honest? Kinda hate the new idea that dinosaurs had feathers. I mean, the evidence they have is basically peach fuzz on some fossilized bones. That is hardly enough to rewrite dinosaur books and make them into gay Sesame Street rejects. Cool. Homophobia and the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's f***ed up some of my favorite childhood memories. I don't want to think of all the naked, cold-blooded, evil-ass dinosaurs I grew up with as being some sort of furry joke. Coincidence that flamboyant dinosaur theory meets overt homosexual scientist are in the same video, or am I reaching? Well, you're reaching. I don't know what you're reaching for, but you're reaching. The Tyrannosaurus looks weird and gay with feathers. It looks like a giant chicken. It's ridiculous. I can imagine its head doing that bobbing motion as it walks. Whatever happened to featherless dinosaurs? Those were terrifying. These new ones are lame.
Facts.
Literally nothing happened to them, but go off. I don't think I need to spell out how thinking feathers is gay is toxic masculinity when masculinity is a social construct. I didn't ask for a bunch of dinosaur nerds to come into my mentions and spurg out about scientific accuracy. I don't give a f about scientific accuracy. I don't want to see a giant chicken clucking about in my mind's eye when I think about the T-Rex.
So these are just normal ass people that he's trying to make fun of so desperately, and like, this next part, this is probably gonna be some of the most self-important shit you will ever hear from anyone I've ever reacted to. Okay, then don't then, Forehead. Brilliantly talented paleoartist Joshua Kanupa has provided us with these lovely screenshots of apes screaming into the void. Let's watch them sling heaping helpings of stinky dung. Feathered dinosaurs are propaganda designed to make them seem silly and unmasculine, because conventional dinosaur reconstructions resemble dragons from traditional European folklore too much, and the Jews can't have young white boys idolizing those. Gay feathers. This retard is actually taking a 4chan comment seriously. From the just plain toxic Vintage Dinosaur Pictures Facebook group, no surprise there. I shared these thoughts with my mother, and she thinks it could be tied to the whole LGBT thing. Big carnivorous dinosaurs, they're pretty cool, pretty masculine we might say. What would covering them in feathers do? It would castrate them. It would make them kinda gay. I think this is part of a wider societal trend that has been going on for many years now, where everything awesome that brings us joy has to be ruined.
These people get off on rubbing our faces in the shit. It's the only way they can feel better about themselves. Have a look and tell me what you think.
Okay, I'll admit that was actually pretty funny to listen to.
Discord interaction that may slide into the ironic side. Thank God they stopped with that designs. Dinosaurs have to be mainly, not be trash. Sadly, the woke paleoviewers are all with the... Dinosaurs have to be mainly, not be trash. Sadly, the woke paleoviewers are all with that hembrist agenda of feminize all.
Did this guy just go up to a random spat and tell him to make strange noises for, like, the censors? Why even censor your shit at that point? It sounds disgusting.
How eloquent. I think it's trying to speak. I don't care what anyone says. T-capitalized R-Rex was not a giant chicken. Stop trying to f up the coolest things that ever lived on this planet by turning them into lame-ass birds. Plenty of these accounts have to be fake trolls, but a good percentage are probably real. Is it possible to get these people to come around on the basics of empiric data and, real science, rather than what they see on the TV or in the theater? Unlikely. Fragile masculinity and self-esteem construct cages out of nostalgia and enslaves one's assumptions. Critical thinking just jumped out the window.
This guy just called you weak and stupid for liking the cool T-Rex instead of the feather one. Like, bro, we get it. You like dick. Stop rubbing it in our faces.
Providing a Tyrannosaurus with a wee bit of simple feathery fuzz would be worse than admitting that the ideas you have in your head of what Tyrannosaurus is has long since gone extinct. It's an admission that you, as a 9-year-old trapped in a 49-year-old's body, are wrong. That fantasy of masculine poses, rabid roaring, and bloodthirsty hunger carries too great a projection of your power. Power that is much too important to your ego to give up so nonchalantly. It's okay, little man. You're still quite scary and powerful to the rest of us in the way only a scaly, knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing ancient relic of the past can be. Keep blithely stomping your heels into the ground. Maybe one last roar from the scrapbook? Make sure you watch over your shoulder for that meteor, though.
This guy's jokes are so unfunny they fall into the realm of complete and utter nonsense. I don't even know what the fuck just happened.
Also, you know damn well I'll keep providing you with Tyrant Files videos each time a Rex paper comes out. Thankfully for the world of bad science communicators, I also talk about more than just Tyrannosaurus. For more interesting stories about nature—
Shut up, cunt.